Welcome back, guys. This is Henry1502 Inc. I'm back. I've been getting a lot of requests from people asking for array tutorials, so I'm going to try to play my part in assisting others. So this last video we looked at indexed arrays. This video we're looking at multi-dimensional arrays. So what better way to show you what multi-dimensional arrays are than to show you visually in a video rather than by text. Okay, so notice that I'm copying this array and I'm just putting a 1. It just means this is the first one. Computer programs 0 means 1, 1 means 2, 2 means 3. Think of it like that. So save and submit, and we get 5A3J3, the values of our arrays. Now, that will come in handy in this next lesson. Now, what you basically want to do here is, so save and submit, and I'll explain it right now. So look, notice my console log when I press save and submit. So we're working with this array, the array called cards. I can't talk. Cards. So the value in the array cards are A, hearts, 3, clubs. Multi-dimensional arrays, because notice how this is one and this is the other. So the second log says, what's the second dimension in the cards array? Hence card 1 over here. And the second dimension is 3 clubs. Moving on, the value, what's the value in last card array is 3 clubs. Why is that? Because notice down here it says first get the last item in the cards array, and we're getting it because the last item is a second dimension. So that's pretty much what it does right here, 3 clubs. And then down here, last suite equals last card, and because the last card is, the values inside last card is 3 clubs, the second value, the second item in last cards are just clubs. So yeah, that's pretty much how you should think about it. I hope that really didn't confuse you too much. Moving on to the next lesson. Now for this next lesson, I don't know why it is like this, but I guess it's to show us kind of how to write them, multi-dimensional arrays or something like that. But make sure your code looks just like this. I know this is right because I get the green check mark. So make sure your code looks exactly like this. Moving on to the next lesson. Now what we want to do here is we want to write loops. One great way of writing loops pretty much could be this. I equals 0. And then we go on to do this hands.length I++. I'll explain what all of this means later on, so don't freak out just yet. And we basically do the same thing all over again, except we change a few things here and there. And what the few things are is just the I, to change the I to a J. Once you save and submit, you'll get all of this, every item in both arrays. So it starts off from 3 over here, and it ends off and H over here. So what this basically is, we are creating a counter. So we created a variable called I, and the variable I has 0, a value of 0. So for every item in the hands variable or the hands array, whichever way you want to look at it, I will get 1, which basically means increment by 1. We'll get 1 value. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. The same thing's true about J, except it's working for this lower array, the second hands array. But K basically is printing all of them out. What we're doing is we're printing everything out on the console. So that's why you get it neatly all like that. Moving on to the next lesson. Now for the next lesson, number 5, what you pretty much want to do is something along the lines of this. Now, when you press save and submit, you get 2. Some of you are wondering, why do you get 2? Well, again, let me just show you visually what happens. So, we originally start off with cards. Inside the cards array, there are 8 clubs, 8 A hearts. But we add a second cards. We add a second dimension, which basically adds J spades. So once you save and submit, you'll see that there are 3 dimensions instead of 2. And what this basically means is it's telling JavaScript that we are working with the third. Hold on, let me see. No, down here, line 6. Line 6 is basically telling JavaScript that we are working with the first dimension, and inside the first dimension we are working with the first value. We want the first value. So think of it like coordinates. 0, 0 basically means 1, 1. 1, 1 is 2 over here. And that's why we get a return of 2 down here. So moving on to the next lesson. For the next lesson, we want to use splices. Splices help remove values. That's pretty much it. If you did start off JavaScript, you should know what they do, because you had to have incorporated slices into the earlier tutorials. So, but if you didn't, I'll show. So save and submit, you'll get Robert Joe. The reason why you get these 2 values are because these are the values that are being deleted, well, removed from the array. So if we try to log out teams to see what values are left in teams, we should get Sharon and Joe. No, Sharon and Martin. Well, we should get Martin anyway. Oh, so this is what happens. JavaScript, we're basically telling JavaScript that we are working with this, okay? 1, 1 means we're removing Sharon, and we're also telling JavaScript that we're working with this, because teams over here, the first dimension over here, 0 through 1. So we delete 3 values. We are deleting 3 values. Hold on. Sharon, Robert, and Joe. So the only remaining value in our team's array is Martin. So save and submit. And for the last question, we have to write another for statement, a for loop. Now you guys should be pretty comfortable with these because you're going to be seeing these if you want to actually take this seriously. Loops are pretty commonplace, but I'm not going to write it. I'm just going to paste the code. Save and submit. Now some of this can be confusing, like where did JavaScript get the 52 from? Why is it run like this? Now it's not really explained well. It's not really explained at all. It's kind of assuming that you have like background knowledge, but let me try to do you some justice and explain what's going on. The 52 is derived from multiplication right here. You have 4 values over here and you have 13 values over here. 4 times 13 is 52. So that's where the 52 comes from. If you try to log out Dex, you will get a return saying undefined. If you try to log out cards, it should be undefined as well. Now push basically means to add something, add in an element. So we're adding an element to this cards. I think. It's been a while since I've done this, but I think that's really what's going on. Deck, we're either pushing deck into cards or we're pushing cards into deck. Interesting. That's very interesting. It doesn't really give much clarity to it, but this is why comments come in handy, for because you will pretty much forget what you did months ago. But anyways, add, like, subscribe, comment down below. Do you have any more questions or requests? Do you want me to continue on the arrays tutorial? This is Henry1502 Inc. Please click on every ad in or around my videos. I get a small cut. You guys get some great ads. I'm out.